Sherlock Holmes has been in our popular culture for over 200 years. He has been in everything from books, to films, to television programs. In just the past 5 years, the popularity of Holmes has reached an all-time high, not seen since its original publication in the Strand magazine in the late 19th century. The character has captured the imagination of many television and film creators alike, including a duo of independent filmmakers working out of the Kansas City metro area. Samuel and Andrew Toddy have been fans of the great detective since they were first introduced to Holmes by their aunt and uncle through the 1986 Granada television series starring Jeremy Brett.
Holmes has been with us practically from the beginning. Our first YouTube video was a 45-minute rendition of Hound of the Baskervilles, and that kind of launched our, at least our introduction to YouTube, and that was really fun. We shot that in 2010 and 2011. And coming up in the Christmas season, we kind of were feeling a little nostalgic and wanted to go back to something that we knew, that we loved, and that we wouldn't mind working on for the month and a half before Christmas. So Sherlock Holmes seemed the logical choice.
Now 3 years later, the cast and crew prepare to make their return to Victorian London. It's kind of nice to return to kind of show almost like a coming a full circle, or showing what we can do now, how far we've come along. And I like the idea of a period piece again, like Sherlock Holmes, and working with the characters that are strong like Sherlock Holmes to kind of exercise once again the full potential of what we can do. With the holiday season quickly approaching, the Toddy brothers get to work on pre-production. First, the team returned to the source material for inspiration.
After our aunt and uncle got us into the Granada series, they loaned us the complete collection of Sherlock Holmes. And I was going through the stories, and I'm one of those people that like to turn to the end of the book to see how it ends. And one of the stories that was in the table of contents was The Dying Detective. And I was like, what's that about? So I turned to that and I read that, and that was actually the second Sherlock Holmes story that I ever read. So ever since I did that, I always wanted to make a version of that, and this is a great opportunity to do it.
With the story selected, Samuel begins adapting Conan Doyle's original text into script form. While the script is being written, the crew simultaneously get to work on constructing sets and creating props.
When thinking about props and sets and costumes and whatnot, we wanted to be as authentic as possible with the budget that we had. So we went all out. I mean, like over here I'm in the Baker Street set right now. And behind me, we have Sherlock's crime library of like little relics that he had from his past cases. And you have like the photograph of Irene Adler from A Scandal in Bohemia, played by Cassidy Cooper in our rendition of Sherlock back in 2011. We just kind of authenticated the photo to make it a little more old-timey and threw it up there. We've got the Blue Carbuncle from The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, the Gold Crown from the Musgrave Ritual. We have the Reichenbach Falls behind me. We have the jackknife that's in the mantelpiece where Sherlock keeps all his correspondence that he hasn't opened. We've got the Persian slipper with the tobacco in it. We've gone all out on trying to make this feel as authentic Sherlock Holmes as possible.
Once all these elements are completed, the brothers move right into the casting process. Well, this time around when we were casting, we went with some familiar faces, our Sherlock Holmes film family, so to speak. We have Sarah, who played Beryl Stapleton in Hound of the Baskervilles, playing Mrs. Hudson, and we have Daniel Toddy, our brother, playing the poor victim at the beginning of the film, who played Sir Henry in Hound of the Baskervilles. So it's nice to kind of be back in that familiar territory with everybody and kind of go with the same kind of feeling. It kind of gets you back in the zone, especially being away for so long, to kind of get back in the feel of the characters. I know for me and Sam returning to our roles as Watson and Holmes, it's nice to play with that dynamic again, and I think the casting, was spot on the first time, so why change it? For the role of evil biologist Culverton Smith, the brothers looked to someone new, an up-and-coming stage actor currently attending classes at Baser Linwood High School.
First heard about the project actually through a friend named Sarah Jacobs, who I guess has worked on other projects before, and she recommended to me that Sam and Andrew were looking to do a Sherlock Holmes film, and then they were interested in casting me as the villain. And I had never been in any sort of film production before, so I thought this will be fun.
With the cast assembled, it's now time to bring the world of 1890s London to life. So the crew sets out to find the perfect backdrop. The first stop, Lawrence, Kansas. So if we could actually get something, if we wanted to leave the top of the glass exposed, anything like a piece of foam or something, a black card piece or something. But either the 221B on the glass up here, but I personally think it'd look good up there on that top one. But the glass is also a good idea if we just want to cut it out. But the thing there is we don't want to put stickers straight on it. The locations have been scouted and the set pieces assembled. The next step is capturing the brothers' vision on film.
Once we had our locations scouted, practically the next week we were shooting. We were on Baker Street at 4:30 in the morning on, I think it was the Sunday after we found it. So we were shooting there, and then we came back and we were on Baker Street the next day, and we were in the opera box the next day and had the hospital set up. So we got right into it, and it was a really fun little run. It was really cool to see everything finally coming together in the camera's eye.
After 3 weeks of shooting, the production team is finally ready to bring the project into post-production.
To add kind of an older feel to it, we took all the footage and did color correction, and also kind of desaturated everything to make it a little more of that dull feeling you'd get from the foggy London town. Working on this project has really been a labor of love for me. I mean, we've had our old friends come back, we've made some new friends, we had our serious moments on set, we had our more lighthearted moments on set, and in the end, we ended up making something that is pretty spectacular. And it's just a testament to go to show you that if you have the drive and you have the motivation, anybody can do it. I mean, anybody can make movies these days. It's not like 20 or 30 years ago where only production companies can do it. Anyone can do it.